How's everyone?
If you ever have anything you want me to talk about over here on the news, just make sure you're hitting up that Discord, going into that Kids News Corner channel, and dropping whatever article you would like to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this first one. So The Last of Us Season 2 episode count has been revealed. And then Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann explain their decision and tease additional seasons. So from what I understand, the show count, like the episode count for Season 2 is a little smaller than Season 1. And so they definitely wanted to just explain what's going on. It's a case of good news, bad news for The Last of Us fans who have been patiently waiting for more than a year for new episodes of HBO's award-winning drama adaptation based on the acclaimed video game. When Season 2 finally arrives in 2025, it will be shorter than Season 1, consisting of 7 episodes, but the good news is that a potential third season will be significantly larger and possibly bigger in scope, and they could very well be a Season 4 coming behind it, according to series co-creators. Plus, one of Season 2's episodes will be quite big in length. So I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. The size Season 2 order was hinted at in January when Deadline revealed the lineup of the Season 7 directors, including Mazin and Druckmann. The duo arrived at the number of episodes after careful consideration. And like they said, there is one episode that is quite big in length. So that'll be interesting. I think, I have an understanding what that means for that episode. But it is what it is. The story material, easy there. The story material that we got from part 2 of the game is way more than the story material that was in the first game, because the second game is huge compared to the first. So part of what we had to do from the start was figure out how to tell the story across seasons. When you do that, you look for natural breakpoints, and as we laid it out, the season, the national I think it's natural breakpoint felt like it came after 7 episodes. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how they break up everything. I don't know. I know people disliked parts of part 2 as a game because of how it was broken up. And I didn't know if they wanted to try and do something a little differently with the show, like maybe try and do something a little differently, but it may not. Let me jump through this next one. Peaky Blinders movie is greenlit at Netflix with Cillian Murphy set to star. Peaky Blinders movie is officially on the way at Netflix, and Cillian Murphy is returning to star as Thomas Shelby. The streaming giant announced the news on social media today, sharing an image of the film's script and some of the names attached. It will be written by Stephen Knight and directed by Thomas Harper. Murphy shared a few words regarding the long-awaited confirmation that a movie based on the English set show is finally on the way. So, pretty cool. Like I said, I never got to see much of Peaky Blinders, but I know this is a big deal. I know people are excited, and as they should be. NASA and Boeing complete historic first crewed launch of Starliner spacecraft. So NASA and Boeing have successfully completed the first crewed launch of the next generation Starliner spacecraft, which is now en route to the International Space Station with a complement of 2 veteran astronauts. Assuming the test flight goes to plan, Starliner will join SpaceX Crew Dragon in regularly ferrying astronauts between the ISS and Earth, and will become the 6th American-made spacecraft in history to be certified to carry human beings into orbit. Starliner lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 10:52 a.m. EDT on May 6th atop a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket bound for low Earth orbit on a crewed mission that has been well over a decade in the making. The test flight will see NASA astronaut Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore rendezvous with the ISS for a week-long tour before returning to Earth to land on the U.S. soil next week. The mission is designed to put the spacecraft through its paces as a final test ahead of being fully certified by NASA to fly astronauts to low Earth orbit. Just cool stuff. Obviously Boeing is kind of a shit company, you know, as they're out there. I don't even know, is it the same company? The same, is Boeing Space the same as like the plane people? But outside of that, pretty cool stuff. Boeing, that's right. Killian, yeah, I always accidentally butcher it a little bit. I know it's Killian. I appreciate it plenty. I do know, I just mispronounce it on accident. Boeing, yes, the same. Well, now listen, if something comes off, they'll at least kill the person who's talking about it, you know? Is Boeing going to come after me for saying that? I don't know. Please don't share this clip around to Boeing. They're going to be upset and they're going to come after me. Doors doing so far? I think so far so good. The doors look like they're working. We have to wait to see how the landing gear goes. But no, I just think this kind of stuff it's just interesting, even if it's you know, not anything. I mean, it is pretty crazy, but it is also like, you know, it's not the normal stuff we get to talk about. But you know, another spacecraft that can be able to pilot people from Earth to the ISS and back was pretty cool stuff. Monster Hunter Wilds fans love Gemma, the Smithy, so much that it's now tagged as a dating sim on Steam. That's right, guys. People are so enraptured by the new research commission Smithy, Gemma, that, and I verified this, on Steam, Monster Hunter Wild now is tagged as a dating sim for some reason. Monster Hunter Wild debuted a new look at its scaly new critters last week, but fans are so mesmerized by an NPC named Gemma, the Smithy, that they've added a dating sim tag to its official Steam page. Pointed out by Quirkless Stoner on Twitter, Capcom's next Monster Hunter game Steam tags include action, multiplayer, and now dating sim. Tags are user generated, but the ones that appear first are the most popular amongst fans, so they are generated by fans. Capcom is not putting that on there. That means players gather and tag Monster Hunter Wilds as a dating sim enough to propel the term to be one of the most used tags. Trust the internet to be so horny. As you guys know, or maybe you don't, I don't know. I don't know. You may not know me, you know. Things are weird. I like to play some Helldivers. I have another channel that I get to play some Helldivers with a good friend. And so they do these things that are called war bonds, which are essentially like season passes or whatever, but they don't go away. And you get an in-game currency that you build up by playing missions that you can buy things from those war bonds then. And so they are announcing their next war bond that they're going to be dropping. It is called Viper Commandos, and they have a little trailer for it. So I guess let's take a look. All right. So yeah. So the essentially the theme is a little bit. I guess my best comparison is kind of Predator. Predator look. So everything is kind of very like very jungle warfare kind of deal and everything. It's so goofy that I think it's just it works, so what did they say this is coming out on? June 13th, so just a couple of days. But man, it's so funny. So you have a throwing knife that's gonna replace like your grenades. You can throw a knife instead. Shotgun, capes. Can I get those capes though? Oh, there they are. Oh my god, with the little snake head there. I mean, look at I think it's goofy enough that I'm kind of into it. Yeah, so pretty goofy stuff, man. Helldivers they're finding great ways of like always kind of keeping their players surprised with what they're coming out with next. I can't be mad. Hey, you guys like the Hunger Games? Remember how they made another Hunger Games book and then they made a movie of it like really quickly? Well, surprise, they're gonna do that again. New Hunger Games film based on Suzanne Collins' just announced prequel novel is in the works. That's right. If you didn't know, she did just announce a new book that is coming out next year called Sunrise of the Reaping, which I think there's some information we'll get into here in a minute about it. But immediately after, Lionsgate essentially said, yeah, we're making a movie of that as well, and it'll be 2026. Like, they are not fucking around. Hunger Games stole from Battle Royale. Yeah, I think people have all kind of agreed that that's pretty much true. But Suzanne Collins specifically said, like, I don't know if she's ever talked about Battle Royale, but she specifically said that she was watching something on TV, and maybe she's just saying this or whatever, but she always talked about that there was two things happening. There was like the war in Iraq that was happening, and then there was a game show or a reality television show or whatever that she was kind of watching, and she was kind of flipping back and forth between the two, and she kind of got into her mind this thing. I agree, probably BS, but I always imagined that the reality TV show that she was talking about was Survivor, because I feel like that's the only one that really lines up with what she's talking about. And I could totally see those two things kind of playing into each other, But I read the first couple of Hunger Games books. I didn't read the newest one. And I thought they were fine. They're not bad books. And the movies I think were okay. I don't really remember the movies that well, but yeah, I mean, listen, I think this could be pretty interesting. So she has this, the book that she just announced, like I said, called Sunrise on the Reaping, and it is surrounding, who's the guy? I don't remember his name, and I don't want to. Sunrise of the Reaping is another prequel in Collins' dystopian series set 40 years after the Ballad of Songbird and Snake, but 24 years before the events of the original Hunger Games. It begins on the morning of the reaping of the 50th Hunger Games. Fans of the franchise remember this is the year Hunger Games character Hamish Abernathy won. So they're essentially going to be telling a Hamish story. I forgot what the guy's name was until we just read it, but it was the same. Oh my god. I can't remember who played him in the movie, but interesting stuff. Man, who is that guy? Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson played him. The Academy is exploring the possibilities of adding a stunt category to the Oscars. I think this is really, really cool. After years of campaigning in filmmaking community, it looks like stunt workers may finally be getting recognition on the Oscar stage. Maybe. Several hands of the Academy sat down with Empire for a rare interview recently, where they were asked about the potential of a stunts Oscar. They confirmed that there indeed have been talks about the subject, especially after the confirmation of the new Best Category or Best Casting Oscar category coming in 2026, in addition to providing some vague insight into the Academy's process. We're talking to members of the stunt community who are Academy members about the possibility of that. Bill Kramer, Academy CEO, said in the interview, "We added a new award that will launch in 2 years for casting directors, so we're always open to those discussions." Elaborating further, Academy President Janet Yang called the Academy a living, breathing organism, and if there's really strong support for a change from the organization members, they'll listen. Man, that is kind of sad though that it's not happening yet, but God, they really need to. That's what's happening with casting. We've created new branches over decades, Yang added. So it does evolve, and it evolves with the changing industry. The campaign for a best stunt category has been long one and extensive. As IGN broke down earlier this year. It's hard but not impossible feat to get a new category added. Just look at, again, the upcoming best casting category. So obviously not something right now, but I think that this is something that needs to happen at some point, because this is crazy. This it is no joke. It is one of those things that people put their lives out there for. And there's a YouTube series that has it's the same guys who do like the VFX artist react stuff. They also have stunt guys come on and talk about their stunt work and stuff like that, and it's crazy just to see all that, and the talent and the hard work and everything that goes into it, and putting their bodies on the line, and it's crazy. It deserves some recognition. So hopefully in the next few years we definitely hear about this coming up. So this last one I'm just going to talk about is, so it is Thursday, and on Thursdays Epic Game Store has free games, and their free game this week is Marvel's Midnight Suns. I don't know much about this, but I heard that it's actually very good, so I grabbed a trailer for it, and I figured we'll go ahead and take a look at that right now.
The little sorcerer returns home.
Already, the power of the Sanctum returns to me. Your days of plundering its secrets end today!
But that was never the plan. Now,
Yes, Mother.
no! We're losing her!
Doc, come on! We have to go! Believe if you must! I can hold it!
Like hell you can! The Sanctum is gone.
We did everything we could, and it still wasn't enough.
We need to plan for what comes next.
What's next? Armageddon has already happened, Caretaker. What's next is hell. Lilith's darkness has been released fully into the world, expected to fall city by city, nation by nation.
Surrender, or be destroyed. I am just getting started.
Own the Beltons!
of the midnight sun approaches.
Yeah, so I've heard, like I said, very good things about this. It looks pretty good. I'm not mad about it. I think it is like an XCOM type game. So if you've never seen it, it's a very tactical type game. This is obviously a very cinematic cutscenes kind of stuff. That is not how the game actually plays, but I think it could be very interesting. And it is free over on Epic Game Store. So if you are interested, if you are interested, just go and pick it up. Like I said, it should be free. Metallica, right? Isn't that crazy? That's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the news today. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and I will see y'all on the other side.